Len, Shivam, everybody joined.
Yes, sir.
Purnima Madam already joined. Dr. Lamalu, you are here? Dr.
No,
Lamalu,
sir, she is not here. She has left.
she,
She is
she
not here,
joined.
sir.
She joined. What we can
Yes,
do
sir.
that we can start the things now,
Yes, sir.
Akansha, and maybe in between she will be joining.
Okay, okay, sir. Shall we start, sir?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Good evening to all of you. My name is Akansha. I'm doing PhD under the supervision of Professor Rajesh. First, I would like to welcome you all on this platform today. Today, we are here to discuss the prospect of gender and development in lifelong learning. First, I would like to welcome Purnima Jain from Dayal Bagh Educational Institute. She holds a MA MPhil PhD degree in sociology from JNU. She also has been a gold medalist at the postgraduate level. Our second speaker is Professor Lamalu Thaimai from Department of Adult Continuing Education and Extension, University of Manipur. And the third speaker is Professor Rajesh from University of Delhi. Shall we start, sir?
Yes, sure.
Professor,
You start. Yes.
I would request to Professor Purnima Jain to share her views on gender and development in lifelong learning. Ma'am, please, shall we start? Hello.
Uh, Professor Purnima, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good evening to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Rajesh Kumar, who has given me this opportunity to share my views and interact with all of you. I'm very happy to share my views on this aspect because this is one of the most important aspect in present day life. And the Department of Lifelong Learning is not given so much importance which it should be given. Because in 2009, somewhere in, I've also written one research paper, and presented in Visakhapatnam on role of Department of Lifelong Learning in increasing employability skills among the youth with respect to NSDQF of Government of India. So again, I'm very much concerned with the government policies for including gender into development or empowerment uh, of especially women, because most of the concerns, gender does not mean only female, but since females are lagging in number of dimensions as compared to men, maybe it is literacy, it is education level, it is employment, or it is what else is there. So that's why most of the research studies are focused or oriented or bent upon the development of women with respect to gender. So I would like to divide my discussion on three dimensions, main three dimensions. One is the introduction, because without understanding the background, we won't be able to understand the gender development or the role of lifelong learning. So one is gender development and gender inequality. The second is role of lifelong learning in gender development. And third one, of course, is confusion. So the term itself has been derived from Latin genus, that means kind, sort, of type. So from Latin word it came to Old French, so it was termed as gender, Gendre. Then from Latin gender, from the late Middle English, it came to be known as gender, Gender. So gender and sex, we all know, there is no need to repeat the definition or the meaning of gender and sex. But very briefly, I would like to say that gender and sex are different, because gender is a socially and culturally constructed term, whereas sex is a biological term. A person is born with a sex, but not with a gender. So, a person born with a female sex or a male sex can be treated as opposite. Like a male can be treated as female, or female can be treated as male. Why? Because it is socially constructed. It is the society which gives the connotation to a sex to convert it into a gender. So with the gender comes up with the conversion of the sex, or with the conversion of the gender regarding sex as a gender, there comes a gender identity. A person with which sex one identifies him or herself, that becomes his or her identity. So there comes the concept of third gender. We all know that third gender is the eunuchs, or whatever the transdressed or transsexual, whatever we consider it, it is the third gender. So in 2009, the Election Commission of India allowed transgender to choose their gender as the other in the ballot box, because previously they were not allowed to cast their vote, even they were denied of their political rights, right to vote. Now we have MPs also from the third gender. And on 5th April 2015, the Supreme Court recognized transgender as a third gender, and it is given legal status. Third gender is given legal status, and now we allow them to study, to take up any occupation, to participate in the politics, or whatever they want to do. They are as good as the first and second gender are. Now, gender is not, this term is not constructed in society in isolation, because it has roots in religion also. Various religions, they also distinguish between gender. For example, Taoism, it distinguishes between yin and yang. So yin means feminine and yang means masculine. Similarly, Christianity, God is masculine, whereas the church is feminine. Hinduism, Shiva is half male and half female. So right half is considered as male, and left half is considered as female. Now, why there is gender development? There are different approaches to the study of gender development, because this is one of the important issue. Because if we want to develop a nation, then gender development is one such dimension which needs to be given utmost importance. So Kate Young has divided all studies into 6 categories. Number one is focus on gender relations in terms of income, race, caste. So that means there is a difference between income groups, racial difference, and caste difference and ethnicity differences on the basis of gender. Now, second approach is women as active agents. That means women are regarded as active agent for change or for development, which they were not regarded previously. And the third one is holistic perspective. It focuses on reproductive aspects of social and economic aspect. Then fourth dimension is development is a set of complex processes involving economic, political, cultural, transformational over time and space. And then fifth is achieving gender equality of women as empowerment, because the concept of empowerment also came into existence, and it was also related with the women empowerment to bring women at par with the men. Then the sixth approach was role of organization and collective action by women is central to the achievement of gender equality and women. Because when we talk of this aspect of Kate, that here comes the role of lifelong learning and extension departments in gender development or in the societal development as such. Now, why gender development? Why do we talk of gender development? This is such an important topic which Professor Rajesh has taken to be discussed at this platform, which needs to be discussed at a larger extent and involving government officials also and policymakers also into this discussion. So, because there is gender inequality, there is gender injustice. Patriarchy is one system of society which is prevailing in India as well as in other parts of the world also. Then there, related to this patriarchy or gender inequality or gender injustice, is the differential allocation of resources to men and women. Now, as I've discussed, Kate's approaches, which Kate has distinguished different approaches into 6 sections. So there is a shift from women in development to gender and development. So now the new concept, women in development, means how women can contribute to the development process. Now gender and development means how gender is related to development, how gender equality, gender justice can contribute to development. Now, because this gender in development challenge the existing gender roles and power relationship among men and women, particularly. Now, there is gender inequality in India as well as in other parts of the world. So, different worlds they exhibit gender inequality on certain parameters which are standard at international level. So, first one is literacy rate. So, if we talk see literacy rate in India, so total literacy rate in India is 74%, whereas it is for males it is 82% and for females it is 65.5% only according to the census of India 2011. Now we see the difference between male and female literacy rate. It is a significant difference between the two sections of society. That is, males are having much more higher literacy rate as compared to women. So there is a need to increase literacy rate among women. So second is maternal mortality rate. So it is measured in terms of per lakh population. So it is 167 per lakh live births. Then adolescent birth rate, every 5% in is an adolescent and every third person is a young person. So this is a strong feature of India because we have demographic dividend which is not available in other parts of the world. So we are stronger in this part, but we have to we are merely presence of youth population in our country is not sufficient for development. We have to make them capable. We have to empower them. We have to make them strong to take up challenges, to face the challenges of the world, and to take up jobs and employment, and to provide labor force to other countries of the world so that they can also survive and the other countries can also depend upon our population. Now there are gender inequalities. Now population with minimum secondary level of education. So we see that for male it is 63.77 million and for female it is only 42.17 million. So pupil who have secondary level of education is much lower among females as compared to male. So this is as I said, why most studies and why conceptions of gender development are bent towards female development of women empowerment because they are lagging in most of the dimensions. So now the next is women's representation in parliament. So there are 66 females MPs, that is 11.4% in 2014. And women's share in workforce, it is again 25.51% for female and it is 53.26% for male. So it is almost half of the male population which are there in the workforce. So we have to increase the employment of women in the workforce also. When women's share in the workforce will increase, then development will also increase. Now, life expectancy at birth, it is 69.27 years. An estimated year of schooling is 12.3 years. And for men's, it is 6.4 years. And for mean year of schooling is 6.4 years, and for male it is 8.2%, and for female it is 4.7%. So it is again almost half of the male population which have mean year of schooling. So we need to encourage women or the girls to go to school and to sustain their education, and again the role of triple LE comes into play. Now, estimated gross national income per capita, that is measured in international standard, that is dollar. So it is 2079.35 as of 2018 only. And India ranks 145 out of 186 countries. So we are ranking much lower as compared to other countries in terms of gross national per capita income. Now, there is gender inequality index also, which measures reproductive health, that means maternal maternity rate ratio and adolescent birth rate. And then second dimension is empowerment, which is measured in terms of parliamentary seats occupied by females and level of secondary education achieved by females. Then third is economic status, that is their representation in the labor market. Now, inequality index also shows this thing, and then ILO approach says that gender development means gender equality. ILO adopted integrated approach to gender equality and decent work, because these are international organizations, whether it is World Bank or ILO. Now, the World Bank policy of 1994 was especially mentioning policy on gender development. Similarly, Millennium Development Goals of 2015 advocate gender and development, and reducing gender inequality and empowering women is the third Millennium Development Goal. So this was one of the goal of MDG, to reduce gender inequality and to empower women. Now, there is gender development index also. So in gender development index, there are dimensions for female as well as male. So dimensions are long and healthy life, and knowledge and the standard of living. So for female and male, there is a vast difference between the two. Now India ranks 129 in this gender development index. As we see the data, so life expectancy at birth is 70.7 years for 70.7 years for females, and for male it is 68.2%. So here women are little better than the males. And expected year of schooling for female is 12.9 years, and for male it is 11.9. So here we can see that there is parity, almost parity between the two. There is only 1% difference. Females are leading the males. Then mean years of schooling for female it is 4.7%, and for male it is 8.2 years. Now, role of lifelong learning in gender development. We all know that education is a lifelong process. So lifelong learning departments has not given much importance, or have been little ignored by the society or by the other authorities also. But university departments of lifelong learning play crucial role in filling the void between time-bound education and development planning of the government. So development cannot be effectively achieved without gender sensitization. This is also one dimension for gender development, which the Department of Lifelong Learning have been doing it very efficiently and effectively. So gender development can best be achieved by involving triple education,